Hello and welcome to the final video in a trilogy that covers the hidden features of pattern matching in InfoPath. My name is John and I'll be taking you beyond the basic pattern matching features provided in InfoPath application. This demo is based on InfoPath 2010, but it applies to older versions. Now if you've not seen the first two videos, check out video QA4 and QA5 for some basic hidden features of patterns. In this video we'll expand the dynamics of your meta symbols used in patterns. The first topic will be on the hidden quantifiers within InfoPath. I'll finally show you how to use grouping to create more complex and demanding patterns. Now you may already be familiar with the meta characters that are quantifiers but not know them by this name, and here they are. Now their job in life is to allow a meta character to be used a specific number of times. The previous meta characters we've shown in the other videos are atomic, meaning they can be quantified. The exception is the alternation meta character, as the structure for this character is too complex to quantify on its own. So let's remind ourselves of what these quantifiers do. Well, the asterisk allows you to specify that the preceding meta character placed before it can be used 0 or more times. The plus requires the user to use the preceding meta character at least once, and the question mark requires the user to use it once or not at all. So for this demonstration I'm going to use a text box that is used to store email addresses. Now there are so many different variations I've seen in InfoPath form templates for validating email addresses. I'm going to use one that explains at least two of those quantifiers that we've seen earlier. So I'm going to build up the condition and again check to make sure that it does not match the pattern for my data validation rule. So let's look at a typical example email address that I would like the users to be able to specify. So I'm going to put in my name in a mock email address, and you can see I've used at least one full stop on the left, but I'd like that to be optional. So I'd use a question mark to say 0 or 1 full stop. But there'll be characters before and after that full stop. Then there'll be an @ sign, and then more characters, one more full stop, and more characters. But I can't assume everyone's got a com domain at the end, so they might provide 2 full stops for various other examples. So let's see how that works with our pattern. So first of all I'll use that hidden meta character that we explained in the first video of the trilogy, and for those that haven't seen that, the \w is not one that's specified by InfoPath, but it means any alpha numerical character. Now I want the user to specify one or more of those, so I've put in a plus sign there, and again you can see the plus says one or more. I'll follow that with a full stop. So / means match the character of a full stop or a period, but I want the option to be either one of those or not at all if it's not necessary. So I'm going to use a question mark to follow that meta symbol, and then another set of alphanumerical characters with a plus to say one or more of those, and then an @ sign on its own, so the user has to put in @ sign, and it's just another collection of \w, one or more, then a full stop, which will be optional, then alphanumerical characters again, and just in case we've got .co.uk or .com.au, etc., I'm going to put in another optional full stop and another set of W characters. So it looks messy, patterns do when they get complicated, and we're going to see if that actually works. So I'm going to click on OK on all these boxes and preview my form. There's my email address. I'm going to try this out with my one that I had before. works lovely as I tab away from the text box. If I try a .co.uk, that works quite fine. If I try it without a full stop in the account name, works nice. But the moment I leave out the @ sign, as you can see, that's a compulsory character. And like I said, that's one of many different variations of an email address that you can use for checking. And don't forget, in InfoPath 2010, it actually has one of the advantages of InfoPath 2010 are its preset validation rules and actions. Now, in the UK, when it comes to telephone numbers, we're in a bit of a dilemma when pricing them into fields. You see, all telephone numbers typically have 11 numbers in them, but because of historic sort of area codes, our area codes now are either 4 and sometimes 5 digits long. So the patterns are not consistent. But what I'd like to do is make sure that my users provide either 4 or 5 digits. So the quantifiers we've seen so far aren't sufficient. They do 1 or more, or 0 or more, or 1 or 0. I need a specific range of numbers to work. So I'm going to show you some quantifiers now that again are not displayed in InfoPath. So here in my form template I have my telephone number text box, and I already had a condition in there from a previous demonstration, but this was using an American style pattern. I'm going to have to remove that and use a British style. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure they put in an open bracket, so backslash for the matching character and the bracket. I'm then going to put in the \d to specify a digit, but I want this to be either 4 or 5 digits long, so I'm going to place inside braces number. Now if I put a number in a set of braces, it means I must enter that preceding meta symbol 5 times in this case. So I can specify an exact number of digits that I require. If I put in a comma and a 6 within those braces, I'm saying I want it to be either 5 or 6 digits long. So the number 5 represents the minimum number of digits and the 6 represents the maximum. If I don't put in a 6, I just put in 5 and then a comma, I'm saying I want it to be a minimum of 5 digits long. So for our telephone number it will be 4, 5. Then I'm going to put it in the closed bracket. Then I'm going to ensure they have a space followed by a set of either 3 or 4 digits, because the STD is typically 3 or 4 digits long, and then another space followed by again the option of either 3 or 4 digits. I'll now click OK and give that a go. So preview my form and I'll put in the Birmingham phone number. That seems to work nicely. Let's try a London one, 02007, and that seems to work quite nicely. And if I try Milton Keynes, you see it now as additional digits. 4 there, 4 there, but no more. It won't allow a 5, and it won't allow more than 4 or 5 in the brackets. So I've controlled the number of digits I can place in my telephone number. Grouping allows you to collectively take digit characters. Grouping allows you to take a collection of meta characters and place them into a particular sequence. So grouping is using the parenthesis brackets, and it looks something like this. Now that simply does a simple group that takes a digit and a letter together. But I can use this to repeat the sequence of digit and letter multiple times. So this example here allows a digit and a letter to be repeated many times, followed by a digit at the end. This one here shows the sequence of a digit and a letter being repeated 2 or 3 times. Now for this example I'm going to use the good old national insurance number again. So national insurance numbers normally consist of an uppercase character, so I'm going to put in square brackets A to Z, and I would like that to be done 2 times, so it just requires 2 of those, followed by a space, and then followed by 2 digits. So again, in braces, a digit. Now the thing is, I want that digit set to be repeated 2 more times. So we need 3 sets of those and spaces between them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that area and place it into a group, and then tell it to group that block 3 times. So you can see I've now got 3 sets of digits. And finally, at the end, a letter followed by an uppercase character, and that is a typical national insurance number: 2 letters, 2 numbers, 2 numbers, 2 numbers, and then a letter. And here we have it accepted. Anything out of the ordinary it won't like and is invalid. Now earlier I did say that the alternating meta character can't be used within quantifiers. And that's not strictly true. Now that we've seen grouping, I'll show you how we can place the alternating meta character in a group to be used to repeat certain alternative blocks. So I'm going to use my pattern box here, and I'm going to modify the pattern again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify that I would like it to have either 3 digits or alternating. Don't forget it's the pipe or the bar key. I would like it to, the user to specify 3 letters, but I would like them to do that twice, so they can either have 3 sets of numbers, 3 letters, or 3 numbers and 3 numbers, or 3 letters and 3 letters, and so on. So I place all of that inside a group, and then in braces specify a number 2. So I want the alternation, the option, to be done twice. Preview the form, and here I can put in 3 numbers, 3 letters. It works fine. I can put in 3 numbers, 3 numbers. I can put in 3 letters, 3 letters. Oops. 3 letters, 3 letters, John. And then 3 letters and 3 numbers. As you see, anything else isn't allowed. And that concludes our grouping example. And that concludes the trilogy for the pattern matching in InfoPath 2010. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please leave any comments you wish, any suggestions in the video channel.